Wonderland. Do we have any filmmakers from Wonderland? Get on up here. All right, thanks for coming down, guys.
Thank you.
All right, there's 4 of you. Okay, you guys can all sit down. I'll stand over here. Oh no, please join us. Okay. Please go ahead and introduce yourselves, your names, your involvement in the project.
I'm Helen's son, and I'm the writer and filmmaker in Wonderland.
And I'm Laura Malatos, and I'm a writer and director on Wonderland.
Oh, okay, co-writers, co-directors?
Directing, producing.
Okay, I see. Can you tell me, same question to kick it off, what was the conception of this project?
Practically, our cinematographer Eves came to us with, I'm gonna have equipment and a crew a month from now. Do you have something? And we're like, absolutely.
Creatively.
You had something already?
No.
We said absolutely, and then we wrote it,
Figured it out.
in like a week. It was very fast, and then just brought all the pieces together from there.
But I mean, like, did you want to talk about inspiration, like creatively?
Oh, sure. We were looking a lot into different fantasy stories, and I think Alice in Wonderland jumped out to us as something that could have a new spin on it. And then at the time too, I had lost my grandmother recently, and it just felt very surreal. And I connected with the idea of Alice going down the rabbit hole as kind of when you lose someone and you go through that grief process. And so we started talking about how could we make a short out of that.
Great, and I wanted to ask about this grief and loss. Did you find it hard to approach like the grief and loss theme, but with almost like a comedic twist as well? I mean, it does get dark and it gets eerie and ominous as well as like, deep and emotional and personal, but there is like a light undertone for a lot of it there. Was it hard to address like a deeper, darker concept as grief and loss with a comedic light tone as well?
I think I'll let you speak about like this particular film, but in everything that we write, we're a writing team all the time. We like dark comedy is what we do, and it's usually about grief and taboo. But we find that comedy is like the way into it.
It's the vehicle.
It's the vehicle, and it's the sort of like low entry point because you're like, do you want to talk about serious stuff?
Yeah, I think it was actually not necessarily easier, but just felt very natural because I think, like you were saying, we do find, I think, in everyday life, in those darker or like grief moments, there's a lot of comedy that comes through, and I think sometimes there's a feeling of wanting to pretend that the comedy is not there and like look away and know we have to be serious, but if you kind of lean into it, I think to me it just feels more natural to what those moments actually feel like.
Yeah, very well said. And then I wanted to ask, what was it like working with your art department? Because, I mean, this is such a visually creative film, and you like really got to flex your muscles in terms of, I mean, makeup, costume, production design, props, like what they must have been. Are you a very visual director, and is this like your style, or was this something completely new for you?
Laura's very visual. We're very visual, I think, writers too. And in terms of like all of the art stuff, we had a great production designer, Danielle Light. But ultimately it was a village for everything. And I think we want to give credit to like the design process, but we want to give a lot of credit to the labor.
Yeah, I think we kept adding more and more elements of things that we thought would be fun, and our team was so incredible in kind of jumping on that journey with us, and we would come to our production designer and we're like, what about human-sized flowers.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
Well, I was gonna say, everything that's on screen is roughly as it is in the script, which is like not like a serious thing to say, but.
So a lot of this was your idea that you then had like craftsmen and women executing on instead of them coming to you pitching concepts?
Essentially, yeah. I think like it was these like 6-foot paper flowers. It was like Victorian spooky masks, and it was like very close to what ended up on screen, essentially.
Yeah, but in terms of where it came from, I think we had an incredible team. It was a very low budget production, so with a lot of the production design, and we lived together, we basically turned our apartment into a craft workshop, and it was like, hey, there's gonna be wine and movies playing, can just like blast to all of our friends, like, can anyone help us make flowers? Here's how to do it. And then we were just like 24/7 people would come by and we would just be there with
A
like
sweatshop.
Yeah, it was definitely a sweatshop with wine. Don't forget about how we paid people in alcohol. But yeah, it was a lot of like, truly took a village to bring it together. But yeah.
Okay, and then this is not your first collaboration, is it? Okay. Do your previous projects, are they as ambitious stylistically, would you say?
It's the last time we turned our apartment into a doomsday bunker and we lived without windows for weeks. So
Okay.
I would say this one was
That was a one and done.
more preferable of a setup than last time.
Yeah, I do think this was the most exciting thing that we brought on screen, but I think it's always, I think from a very early point in our career and journey and making of art, I feel like we knew that production design is what sells it on a budget kind of thing.
Of course.
Because this like didn't, I think, cost hopefully as much as what it looks like. And I think that's always been the case for us. Like, if we can find the right location, if we can turn our apartment into the right bunker, or if we can like find the costume that like looks just right, it will look so much more expensive. But you know, value aside, it will look like the right world, and like we can sell the story to people.
So that's important to us.
I agree.
Okay, now tell me about the two of you guys and which one of you guys is type A, type B? Like, are you a yin and a yang? What's the push and pull? Give me the lowdown. What's going on here?
Yeah, I think in some areas we're opposites, often we're the same person, which I think just sort of, we feed into each other's ambitions in a way that I think we get excited by and can sort of like allow us to sometimes not necessarily bite off more than we can chew, bite off a lot and chew it.
Chew it. Have two mouths to chew whatever we
Okay.
we ended up
Double
with.
chewing, okay.
Yes.
And do you guys ever butt heads on ideas? Do you ever have any kind of, is there any times where is there conflict in the decision making? And if so, how do you approach resolving that?
This is Love Island. This is drama.
I just want to, film is a collaborative
Yes,
art, and it's important for people to know, especially when double the brain power here is fantastic, but then sometimes, if you're not aligned on things,
Yeah.
how do you push forward
Totally.
to agree on something?
Well, I know we talk about this all the time, but this collaboration is so magical and one of a kind, and collaboration at first sight, whatever. And we're like 100% on the same page, 98% of the time, to like unnatural levels. But the 2% we say of butting heads is sort of the magic, I think, and knowing that is what gets us through the conflict. Because we know that like if we can't align on something, it means that like there's somebody else that's not going to align on this idea. So like
Or there's like fundamentally something that we're not seeing the same. So like there's an issue with the script, or there's an issue that goes deeper than whatever the surface level thing is.
Yeah, and so we know that like through that conflict between the two of us alone, that we can resolve better than anybody else, something like truly gold is going to come out. So again, it's, you know, it's ugly. But it's working.
No, I think there's something beautiful that comes out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I would say we like trust each other enough, and I feel like we like, because there's like respect and trust there, it helps us get through when we're in disagreements.
Beautiful. Trust is key, is always key.
Yeah.
Okay, any questions from our lovely audience members? Anybody got any questions here? Okay, well, thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Congratulations.